I'm Mike. This is Mike on Media. Today I'm taking a look at the horror mystery movie Weapons. Released in August of 2025, Weapons was written and directed by Zach Cregger, and it's a follow up to his 2022 surprise hit horror movie Barbarian. In fact, solely based on the strength of Barbarian, multiple movie studios entered into a bidding war for the rights to bring Weapons to the big screen. In the end, New Line Cinema came away the winner. Weapons has some impressive acting talent in the form of Julia Garner and Josh Brolin, both of whom have numerous acting credits to their name. Julia Garner is perhaps most well known for her Emmy Award-winning performances in the Netflix crime drama Ozark. She also played the Silver Surfer in the recent Fantastic Four First Steps movie, although I suspect a lot of people probably didn't recognize her. I know I didn't recognize her. Josh Brolin is best known for starring in No Country for Old Men and also playing Thanos from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Interestingly, although not formally credited, veteran director David Fincher mentored Zach Cregger for parts of this movie, providing significant advice and guidance in the pre- and post-production phases of development. So, is Weapons a worthy successor to Barbarian? Let's find out. At precisely 2:17 a.m. one particular morning, 17 of the 18 students from Justine Gandy's third grade class suddenly leave their respective homes, running out into the night and simply disappearing. Meaningful clues are few and far between. As the children remain missing, the town in general and the parents in particular grow impatient with the investigation. Frustrated, many of the parents start to suspect that the teacher, Justine, had something to do with the disappearances. Justine appears to struggle with all of the unwanted attention, but is it all an act? There's so many questions. What happened to the children? Will they ever be found? Are they even alive? Who is responsible? Is Justine complicit? All of this uncertainty and the related creepiness soon lead to the movie's memorable climax. As a side note, I saw Weapons at a 2:17 p.m. showing, which was a fun oddity. Now, even though this movie is billed as a mystery horror movie, and I suppose it has all the elements of a horror movie, I didn't find it especially scary. Creepy, yes. Scary, not really. There's also a small amount of gore in Weapons. Personally, I don't feel that it added anything to the story, but it's there. Now, the movie structure is interesting, not especially unique, but it's well done. Julia Garner and Josh Brolin are both predictably good. Also, the various children in the movie do a notably good job. This type of movie with a mysterious premise, they always have two components, the setup and then the resolution. Now, in the case of Weapons, the setup is really good. Well into the movie, I found myself continuing to be drawn into the story and asking myself, what is going on? I genuinely wanted to know and couldn't venture a reasonable guess. Also, a lot of the additional action just served to sort of strengthen the mystery. Now, the resolution in mysteries like this are almost always harder than the setups. To create a setup, you have to create a framework that allows you to ask a lot of interesting questions. Now, that's not necessarily easy, but it's easier than creating the resolution that has to answer all of those questions. And also do it in a way that's compelling and makes sense. Oftentimes that's, very difficult. Now, I expect the resolution of this movie's mystery to evoke a wide and varied array of reactions. from some people, loving it to others really not liking it and kind of all points in between. Now, for me, I was somewhere in the middle. It was acceptable, a little disappointing, but acceptable. And as long as the resolution doesn't ruin the movie for you, it should be a net positive because the setup is so good. Now, one other thing I'll say is that on the humor front, there are elements of weapons that are funny, although not through the use of explicit jokes per se, more along the lines of the absurdity of the visual imagery. This isn't a bad thing, it's intentional and it's well done. When you see the movie, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Overall, Weapons is indeed a worthy successor to Barbarian. Although I would argue that both of these movies are stronger in terms of their setup than they are in their resolution. The behind the scenes impact of David Fincher is undoubtedly helping to elevate Weapons, which is definitely a good thing. I give Weapons a grade of B+, mostly on the strength of its impressive setup. If you're looking for a horror movie that has more of a creepy vibe, then Weapons is definitely a solid choice. If you've seen Weapons, let me know what you think about it in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. If you want to see a review of another movie with Julia Garner in it, check out this review of The Fantastic Four First Steps, where she plays the Silver Surfer. This has been Mike on Media. Until next time.